Hey everybody, welcome back to the Great Lakes Disc YouTube channel. I'm excited every time we get to do something like this. Sometimes we talk about Michigan, sometimes we talk about the industry, sometimes we talk to pros. Today we talk to my good friend Nick Gill, a local professional who gets out on the road as well here from West Michigan. Stay tuned to the end to learn how to win these two Raptors. Without further ado, Mr. Nick Gill. And welcome back. I'm here with my good friend Nick. Nick, thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel today. How you doing, brother?
Great. Thanks for having me, Brian. Pleasure
So
to be
excited.
here.
So excited to chat with you as always. So for those of you that don't know this good man, why don't you tell everyone your disc golf origin story, if you will?
All right. Well, my name is Nick Gill. I guess we'll start off with that, right? PDGA number 33838. So I've had my PDGA number for 17 years now. So this is my 18th season, I believe, playing disc golf. Um, Obviously not playing 35 tournaments a season plus like I have been recently, but kind of all started my dad, I guess, to really lay it out there. He was the PDJ logo, from beginning of my knowledge, pretty much my whole life. So he was always playing competitive disc golf, and it was kind of just one of his like side hobbies that he was fortunate enough, I guess, to get a photo taken where they made him the logo. I forget where he was and what tournament he was playing, but they framed it up good, and it they ended up sending him a release form. So, but yeah, my between my dad, my uncle Joe, and my dad's best friend Hav, like that was those were probably like the three people that really showed me disc golf, and uh Hav for sure, as far as like a little bit of competitive nature. He was always like into sports, and he was always kind of telling me how you got to act and be on the course and stuff, and calling me out for foot faults and whatnot. So I had a pretty
That's good.
strict upbringing as far as like playing by the rules, and competing against people that really, like, I wasn't on their level at all, throwing like giant S shot overhand forehands, however I could get this like star Excalibur to fly, right? Just being a little kid.
Yep, yep.
Um, and I always played sports, and I mean, disc golf kind of was like just a hobby. And pretty much once I like graduated high school, I kind of decided, I wasn't going to play college sports, and chose to take disc golf a little more seriously. And I even before that, like I knew I could compete, and I enjoyed competing. We would always play like state finals every season in Ludington. Labor Day weekend, it would be like a vacation, and
Oh yeah.
I would always sign up for that event. I don't think I missed that really very much within the last 18 seasons, I guess, playing disc golf. Um, and I won AM2 when I was 14. I want to say there was 95 players, and I think I won by 7. So I I had like good game in there that I could play disc golf, and it's a matter of how much you really practice and stay
Yeah.
consistent, and do the little things right every time. I think that's like really what separates the recreational casual player from like people who are competitively playing tournaments full time almost, it seems like.
So like
um
speaking of competitive and staying competitive and getting that practice reps in that you were speaking of, how you doing this off season? We've had a little bit of snow in Michigan, but what you been out and playing? What's your plan, Ben?
I've fortunately I've been able to play quite a bit, like other than literally the last 2 weeks. I've been almost playing disc golf every single day, if not putting. And,
Nice.
recently, like with all the snow and stuff, it took maybe a week or two off and just kind of enjoyed it. Didn't really, stress about it and just be okay with not playing disc golf all the time because I have been. And that's kind of like just something you have to be okay with and allow yourself to, physically reset or whatever, go to the gym or whatever people do. I mean, I'm working a full-time job still, so it kind of a couple weeks go by quick. So, um, as
Yeah,
far as go ahead.
yeah, didn't mean to cut you off there, but
No, you're
you
good.
kind of lead it into my next thing. For those that don't know, you're still a full-time employee of a company, but you still get out and play, as you previously mentioned, like 35 events or so. What's something non-disc golf related when you're out and about on tour and traveling, Michigan and the Midwest, grabbing these events up? What's something non-disc golf you like to do?
So, I mean, literally any out of state event we go to, we're always looking for, what's the best food spot,
Yeah,
right? What like Nashville, that's an amazing place to be, but and it's so big and you never know, like, all right, it can be overwhelming at times, and we're here for a disc golf tournament, but like, they got Hattie B's, which is like one of the best like chicken spots, and
yeah,
uh Kentucky has amazing food,
yeah.
like anywhere. And that's pretty much like the highlight is looking for like the good dive spots and
I love it.
breweries, and like that's kind of what ties the whole thing together when you can actually go out and experience a different atmosphere from what we live here in GR.
Yeah, I that's definitely one of my favorite parts. That's why, we've thrown those get-togethers at Ledgestone the last couple of years, things like that. Love getting out and
Yeah, that
supporting
was fun too.
yeah, just like supporting local, like getting out and finding a place that isn't corporate and giving them some traveling cash, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, no doubt.
So speaking
And
of
it's
traveling,
good marketing for us.
yeah, yeah, it's good. Speaking of traveling, what's your tour look like this year? You getting out on any of the disc golf pro tour stops or
I'm the first half is kind of up in the air. I mean, it's hard to be pro tour ready like
yeah,
immediately in February as far as like, our schedule kind of works out.
right.
Um, but I'm kind of a second half of the season guy, and I plan on playing a lot of A tiers and B tiers and really traveling to any A tiers that are available. I mean, as long as my schedule works out and I'm free, like that's where I'm gonna go. Uh, Looking at like little things, trying to maybe travel out of state at least once a month, just regardless of where it's at. Where you go to South Carolina or as far as Florida potentially towards the end of the season. I know there's a lot of A tiers that, you know, would be fun to go play as far as like when we
For
see a
sure.
turn for the worst as our year goes. So, this is a big year, I guess, for me. I would say I'm, really need to just focus on getting my rating up and trying to get a tour card for 2025. Like that's like seems to be pretty essential these days with how the pro tour is turning and our game is evolving with so many players just rated over 1,000.
Yeah,
There's so many of us, and you have to be, you know almost mistake free at times to really compete at the pro tour.
yeah,
Like
for sure. I mean,
you can't just like River City Open's one of those tournaments too, where it's like you got to birdie all the holes, or
yeah.
any event. It feels that way. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine having that sort of pressure. You guys, God bless you. That's not for me. But when it comes to your travel, your events you've gone around, do you have a favorite event that you've played, or do you have a favorite bucket list
Um,
event, I guess?
well, a lot of the hometown A tiers are something that I've seen a lot of locally, and we hear a lot of the most locally, and those are ones I like to compete in and really show up and try to win. And I quite haven't done that yet. Been close and a couple lead cards and whatnot. So like River City Open, the fact that it's at Brewer and it's one of my, I Shay's let me be involved in, placing the baskets and tee pad locations and stuff on that course now. And the way it's evolved and everything we've been kind of doing with it, it's like, no place like home, right? Like it'd be pretty sweet to win one, at River City Open. That's like a big one. And I know like Kyle feels the same way. Like that's like, that's his spot. He grew up playing there. It's just how it works. And Luke's really good now too, and it's something that he is wanting to win, and it's something I think we all like enjoy competing against each other at because we know like we're gonna be around the top if we just do what we plan on doing. Just
Right.
play smart golf and get the birdies and make putts. Like especially when it's calm. So I look forward to that event every year, and it's something that kind of helps motivate me. Like there's it it's fun to go play the big tour events and stuff, and the atmosphere is amazing. But like your hometown event that you return to every year and you want to compete at, that's huge.
Yeah, so last year you got to compete both on locally and going out to one of those big events, and you did pretty well. Take us back to the preserve. You got a little coverage. What was that like
Yeah,
repping?
man.
What was what did that feel like?
The preserve was crazy. I really had not a lot of practice. I had one round kind of with the local guy actually. It kind of just worked out, and we were talking and playing, and I felt super comfortable there. I just really did. Like there was never like any anything I had to push myself to do that would, make me getting birdie difficult. So like I had that kind of vibe going into the tournament, and just I had great cards as well. I think first round I was with Jeremy Colling and Brody Smith, so like can be a little overwhelming, but they had a crowd following them, and you get in a rhythm, and it's just like, all right, and you shot like a 9 down. So I was like, okay, birdied half the course, and I think Ricky was doing Ricky things, so like it wasn't like winning it is not like it's in the sights, but like you're there, and within the first
Right.
top two cards or something. And uh then I shot like an 11 the second round, and it was just like having Matty O and Nico like on your card when they're just like talking you up as you're
Yeah.
throwing your shots and stuff, and it's just like you're hearing them in the background and you're talking with them, and it's like how can you play bad? Like
Yeah. It's
you have the OGs of disc golf just like vibing with you, and you're just trying to keep up, and it's like they're trying to keep up with you somehow, and it's just it's wild. It's wild how that works out. And then to finish it off, you're playing with the best players in the world.
as you were telling your story, I had like 7 questions and I didn't want to interrupt. So I'm going to go back to one of the first ones. So you're on
All
this
right.
card. You've got Brody, you've got Jeremy, and you're out there and you're shooting well. What's it like when you know like all those people came to watch those two, but there you are performing? Like, do you feel like you're stealing thunder a little bit? Does it motivate you even
um
more?
oh, definitely. most
Yeah.
most definitely. Like there's a lot of claps for those guys and not near as many for you.
Yeah.
That's a true thing. And like people people start talking, you can hear them and stuff, and that's something you just kind of have to tune out a little bit. And I've been fortunate enough to play, like I remember my first time really playing in front of a big crowd at Delwood Park.
Oh yeah.
It was a Silver Series event, and that was insane, the crowd there, and it's like arena style and everyone cheering and stuff. So like when you have people following you, it's definitely like motivating. I feel, and when they're not there for you, but like still they're there watching you play no matter what.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
they're figuring out who you are. That's pretty much it. So
You got a great opportunity to win people over. You got nothing to lose.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and it's funny too when it's just like, okay, this is like what these guys do, and they make their living doing, and it's like, all right, like this is this is something I think I can obtain, when you are there doing it, things become super real fast.
Yeah, that's got to be so motivating for you this off season, when you're getting those boring putts in and not being able to throw in the winter and all that, just to think back to that and keep your head in the right space at least. So that's wonderful. I get to talk to a lot of people in here, but you and I, we both throw for the same manufacturer. So what's your favorite frisbee?
Honestly, I think it's the magnet. I think I love the magnet.
I love
I
that you go with a magnet. That's so classic.
I mean so that was my catch disc like growing up. And that was like, that's kind of got a little nostalgia to it. And now I bag like three of them. So I literally can't help it. It's one of the best discs like under 300 feet. I
So
don't know.
So you're like a buck 50 out, you got a straight shot, or you just playing catch with the basket with a magnet?
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Like I feel like I have a good chance at like throwing it in, and it no matter what, I'm not going too far past the basket either with the magnet. Like I'm laying it in there, and it's hyzering out soft, and it literally is just one of the smoothest discs. It doesn't feel like the best in the hand at first, like for some people, and that's I think it's like a quick turnoff for them, but like
Yeah,
they don't really throw it or try just like giving it a chance. And everybody I end up playing catch with when I warm up, like pull out the magnet and Tim Barham, I know he gets it. That's
yeah,
the thing. Everybody understands. Sam
for sure.
Smeagol, he gets it. We pull out the magnet. We don't pull anything out of anybody else's bag. So
That's
everyone
fair.
likes it.
Yeah. Driver would be or the Big Z Raptor. Is that your baby still or?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Like the Raptors and I'm still throwing a Great Lakes Disc Raptor, the Tour Series that still is like such a good flyer. And
that's
it's a little
cool because
straighter
at
than
the end of
but
this, stay tuned and you could win one of those Z Swirl Raptors from Great Lakes Discs and
yeah.
Discraft. Yeah, that's that promo read right there. Speaking of your sponsor, Great Lakes Disc, and the YouTube channel that you're on, you've got a handful of other sponsors. This is your time to give them the shout out and give them their flowers, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Discraft. I mean, this is year two with Discraft, like solid year. I was on the underground before that for a little bit and transitioned to the tour team, and this is year two on the tour team officially, and that's a big deal. To be a part of it with a super solid core group of guys, and Wes and Bob are doing amazing things, and all the plastics and all the stuff that they're coming out with, like are yup. I got mine, and I literally I've practiced putted with them quite a bit just to feel them out. They're super sweet. The Kratos is going to be one I might actually try putting with, like in events. We'll see.
So
Um,
inside the circle, you putt with like challengers, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah, I'm the same
Challengers, and
way, and I'm starting to like that inside the circle right now.
they're I can't believe how fast and good they putt from circle two, to tell you the truth. The
Yeah,
Kratos, like it's super overstable where like I can just pop it flat and it finishes nice and hard. So it's a good disc. I'm excited to, you know, the market for them right now is pretty crazy. So
yeah.
everything else, like we'll see how it goes. Um, I haven't really thrown it too much yet. And then I guess my other sponsors, Great Lakes Disc, of course, like got we coupon code, 33838. That's the PDGA number, and that gets you, 10% off when supporting me on tour. Um, and then on top of it, we got Disc Golf Threads. This will be a second season with Disc Golf Threads. Uh, really excited to, keep working with Jeff, and everything he's doing, I think is really good. And he's involved with, kind of getting in with the clubs and trying to do stuff for all his team members that, I really appreciate. And same thing. Discount code for him is 33838 disc golf threads. You can just check out their website.
Will you be having a custom jersey come out this year?
Yeah, there's some stuff in the works. You know, we might get a little hat action. You know, I'm
Okay.
always wearing a hat, so that's kind of like something that we'll work on here soon. And I don't know, he was just on vacation in Florida
Nice.
on the escape. So yeah, I mean, we'll have some tour fundraiser stuff coming out soon, and same with some discs. So very excited for 2024 and ready for the tourneys to start. I mean, really, like, there's already an event coming up at Brewer in a couple weeks, and there's a few players signed up, so I might sneak over there. So, comes up quick. Kent Lake Classic, that one too.
Yeah, for sure. That's always a big turnout for pros in the early season. Do you have a bag sponsor for 2024?
No, I actually do not this year. I am not sponsored by any bag company. I'm just kind of going with what I got for now, and I'm still going to carry my upper park bag at the moment. And just no particular reason. It just was something I felt like I might be better off just focusing on my main three sponsors that have really been taking care of me locally, and that's kind of what's really important. That's like the big thing I feel is right.
All right. Well, hey, Michigan bag companies. Somebody from Michigan create a disc golf bag and get it on my boy's back. Maybe Mitten Bags have a prototype come out. Who knows?
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I can't thank you enough for spending Friday evening with me. If you want to win one of these swirl, and of course I don't have one close. We'll give two away. Two swirl Z swirl wrappers, one in honor of Discraft, one in honor of Great Lakes Disc. How should they win them, Nick? I'm putting you on the spot. What should they comment on the YouTube?
Oh God, what do they got to comment? Just comment your favorite throwing putter.
Oh, I love it. Simple, easy. All right. So we're gonna go. Let's see. Yep, don't even have one over there. We're gonna go with comment your favorite throwing putter. Nick, can't wait to see you out there this year. Thanks again, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. It's good to see you.
For sure. Remember to like and subscribe. Keep it in the fairway.